Well, it's going to be Wing Night, where the Buffalo Bandits are hosting the Philadelphia Wings. Welcome back to another episode of Banditland Boulevard. Myself, co-host Trevor Hauer, with me, Tony LaMonica, aka Boxhead 98TL. And we got a couple of guests on here. Tony, why don't you introduce them?
Absolutely. I'd like to welcome to the podcast the 2019 Fan of the Year and soon to be the future Fan of the Year in Banditland. Please welcome Joe and Jackson Schubbe. Hey, guys, and welcome to the show. How you guys doing?
Thank you for having us. We're doing great. How are you doing, mister?
Good. Yeah? You getting excited for Saturday?
Yep.
That's good. We also like to take this opportunity first, including to all our Bandit fans, to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Spotify.fm. And also we'd like to make an announcement that we have our first sponsor for this show, and that
Let's
is
go.
the great folks over at Mitchell's Tavern. For those of you that don't know, they are located at 734 Sheridan Drive in Tonawanda, New York. They're great for looking for a great takeout and best places to eat and drink, and they have the best mouth-watering beef on wick, burgers, and more. Guys, go check this place out in Tonawanda, New York, and believe me, you'll have great service and great food to go with it. They are an amazing people. And just to let you guys know, Mitchell's Tavern over in Tonawanda, New York. So we'd like to thank you guys for giving us the notion to give you guys a sponsorship.
Yeah, it's going to be great. First sponsor, we love having that. Let's go on to the week 13, 14. What week are we in? 13?
I believe week 12.
Week 12. You know what? We're
Week
beyond
12.
the halfway point. 7-2, halfway there.
Mhm.
Three-way tie for first place. We got a couple players to watch in Philadelphia. We saw the injury report, and it wasn't something that we really enjoyed seeing. The fact that we saw Josh Byrne is doubtful for the game. Kazevnikov is questionable. And Chris Kluche is obviously out. Given what happened against Rochester, I mean, I still have full confidence in this team. But once again, they're going to be coming into this game against Philadelphia shorthanded.
Yeah, maybe shorthanded, but I obviously got to have the depth to go with it. Now, obviously, the Bandits have that. They've proven it time and time again with their scoring and their offense. And, of course, they got to rely on their defense and their goaltending. So, all in all, they have what it takes to do the job and get the job done. So, boys, what do you guys think if it comes down to where, you lose a key player like Byrne? He obviously is number 3 on the list of the scoring for the Buffalo Bandits. What do you guys think they need to do?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you got to have your depth and your other key forwards, step up. I mean, it's next man up. You heard kind of Brad McCulley talking to you guys last week about it too. Yep. Next man up mentality. It's just other guys are going to have to step up with the ball in the net and just play a smart game. I mean, that's all we can ask for. I mean, we gotta be a little more disciplined. I mean, Philly, they're a tough squad. I mean, you got a really good face-off guy, and we're going to have to play smart, I think.
To say the least. I mean, Trevor. I was going to say just Trevor Baptiste is an absolute stud, and I think Max Adler needs to put. We saw a lot of great stuff from him in the third and fourth quarter last time we played these guys. We got to see a complete 60-minute game, but it's hard against a guy like Trevor Baptiste. It really is. But when you have, the current, in my honest opinion, I don't think it's Connor Fields, the regular middle of the season MVP, Dane Smith. I think that's a popularity contest, whatever. But when he's leading the way in points with 72, it sucks that you don't have Josh Byrne in there, but you have such a great player to help him get his scoring up a little bit, have him shoot the ball more, and that's Dane Smith. But go ahead, Tony. I think you had something to say after that.
Oh, no, I was going to let you say what you had to say, and then I'm going to ask a question to Jackson now.
Sure.
Jackson, now that we have no Josh Byrne possibly for tomorrow night's game, who do you feel is going to be the new impact player that the Bandits are going to have to look up to?
Maybe Tahoka.
You think Tahoka? Yeah, he's going to have to step up too as well. What do you think he's going to, in your perspective, how many points do you think he might have to contribute to the team?
Probably like 3, 4.
3 or 4?
3 or 4 safe.
Right.
I hope a lot of those are goals. I hope a lot of Banditland. Hope that those are goals. But he's been really good at getting the assists this year a lot. He's been kind of turning into a two-way forward, where last year he was more of a sniper, a flashy little sniper rookie. But it's good to see him explode on the scene. But we got to talk about the players to watch for Philadelphia, and one of them. Yeah. The old bandit himself, Joey Rezaterets. Please put him on the ground if he's standing in front of the net, because you know if he gets the ball, he likes to find the back of the net against us.
Absolutely. And you got to also worry about the fact that another former Bandit has been traded from Vancouver to Philadelphia, and he's back now on the east side. Yep. Mitch Jones is back. So we also got to watch out for him, because when we did play against Vancouver a couple times, he was their go-to guy. And now that he's with Philadelphia, Philly's got some weapons to attack us back. But again, we got to just play with that cool, calm mentality. We've been playing so strong in the second half in the last 4 games. Joe, what do you think?
Absolutely.
I think the keys to the game, I'd have to say, I mean, like you said, you want to have 92 going. I mean, I just can't believe the season the guy's having with, pretty much a shorthanded offense. If you think about it, you've had Kluche out for how many games now? 5.
Frazier.
95's been missing the whole season. I mean, Josh went down a couple games ago. I mean, Dane is Dane. He's going to put up your 8 points a game, but just kind of sit back and just watch him. What he's done, I mean, he just makes everybody on the offense better.
Oh, he's an absolute stud. I mean, the stuff that I mean, I don't know if any of you guys saw what he said today when he was interviewed about Connor Fields winning the midseason MVP. He said he could have it. I just want a championship. I mean, that is a championship attitude. I don't think he couldn't give two what's less about Connor Fields winning the midseason MVP, because he knows that this team without him is still one of the top teams in the entire league as a whole, including the top of the Eastern Conference. So he has the mindset of a champion. Again, this midseason MVP, which is new to this year, I think is lame. It's just a popularity vote, I think, and it doesn't have anything to do with team stats or has nothing to do with winning championships.
Right.
And Jackson, what do you think about who do you think is going to score first in the game tomorrow? You think it's going to be us, or you think it's going to be the opponents?
I think it will be like us.
Mm-hmm. Who starts us off?
I think it'll be Dalton Solver.
Okay.
That's a good pick right there.
I love that, buddy. I love that pick. I really do. That is nice.
That's a great pick right there, because I think he was one of the big guys last week who really stepped in for Josh Byrne. He was the guy that drew first blood last game. So to see him do it again this week, I think would be absolutely fantastic.
I agree.
Anybody else think?
I think 27. That's a great answer. Not a lot of people know much about this kid, but I mean, he's feisty. He's a grinder. He likes throwing his body. I mean, those are the type of players you need. And you know what? He's not scared to score. And I think him seeing the floor more, we need another righty. And you know what? He brings that. I think. I really like this kid. I think he's going to have some potential in this league as long as he can stay healthy. I mean, we really haven't hit the injury bug the last couple of years. I think we've been kind of lucky. So I think going through this adversity now, I think, like you were saying earlier, it's a next man up mentality.
That's the way it should be. And I mean, we also have to face against a former Bandits goalie who we seem to have our way with in the third quarter last time, Zach Higgins. I think we know what beats him the most, and that's absolutely the 5-hole. Keep taking those shots against him. They're bound to go in. I mean, Josh Byrne or not, I think this game is ours to steal. We know how to beat Zach Higgins. We know how to get around guys like Mitch Jones and Joey Rezaterets. But Blaze Riordan, I mean, came on the scene out of nowhere. He wasn't really scoring a lot against us or for us, but he scored a couple against us, and we know how to defend against him now. But I mean, I think the overall thing to look at is your questionable players. Do any of them have a chance at starting? Are we going to see Big Nate's first game as a Bandit? We don't know the status on Chase Frazier just yet, and we all know that that Chris Kluche is definitely out. But the thing is that Josh Byrne is doubtful, so we're probably not going to see him tomorrow night. even though he really wants to get back out there. But I don't think you should rush anything, especially an injury like that can possibly take him out for the rest of the year. But I'm really excited to see. Do you guys think any of these questionable players get the start?
Go ahead, boys. You can answer that one first. I'll go after you.
I would say, I mean, I don't know much about Nate. I know he's he's a pretty good goal scorer in junior ball. I still think it's yes. Hopefully Weiser. I mean, these guys that are questionable, doubtful. I mean, I don't really want to kind of push the situation. We're going to need these guys in the long run.
Yeah.
If they're banged up, let them rest. I mean, we've been preaching it all night. I mean, next man up. I mean, it's kind of a revolving door. We haven't seen a few players that we usually have seen the last couple of years. I mean, get your bigger bodies in there. Do we see a Sam LaRue? I mean, obviously he's on the practice squad. I mean, we see somebody else step up. I mean, we haven't seen Carter McKenzie too often either. I mean, he's a big body defenseman. But I think it's just we gotta play a smart game tomorrow. The Philadelphia, they're going to be hungry.
Yeah, and I think maybe like the Robinson brothers, Dylan and Brandon, have to also step their game up as well. I mean, we've probably had a blessing for getting those guys on this team, especially with Brandon. Not nitpicking about which brother's the best, but Brandon is that tall, muscular offensive forward that looks like he could be like the next Rob Ray, Brad May, whoever you could think of an enforcer, but he can still score.
He's a power forward, man.
And that's scary against opponents going, how do you stop somebody like that? And that's another thing we got, and thankfully to have on our team. And I hope to God that they give him more opportunities to score and work with the offense as well. But I also have another guy that we should also be thankful for, and that is Brad McCauley, because he, even though at first looked a little shaky, and of course when you have your opportunity to finally play a full-time game, that's another step forward for somebody to go, I can do that too, as well as the next guy can do it. So I'm very happy with how he has been really stepping up for this team.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And I mean, I think he's definitely one of my key players to watch, Brad McCauley. He came off his best game of his NLL career last game. You're probably going to have Josh out this week, so he's going to do it again. But honestly, I think one of my key players to watch, you said it right there, I think it's Brandon Robinson. He likes to carry the weight a little bit. When someone goes down, he's a huge depth player. So I think, look at a guy like Brandon Robinson to cash in 3 or 4 tomorrow night.
Yeah. Jackson, what do you think, buddy? Who do you think is going to be the key player in your eyes that's going to be helpful for the Bandits to win tomorrow? You going to stick with Dalton, or are you going to think Tahoka?
I think Dane Smith.
You think Dane's going to be the one that's going to go for it? What do you think he'll do? Do you think he'll have his average 9-10 points a game to do what he has to do best?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Well, that'd be crazy if he could do that again. That would be sick. But he has done that. So, Joe, on to you. What do you think? Who your player is going to be for tomorrow?
I mean, I'd like one to have a breakout game. He's kind of been quiet lately, and he's had the chances, but I really like to see him kind of get going on offense.
And that is,
you've seen him last year, how he just kind of burst onto the scene. He had 5 goals, 4 goals, hat trick. You haven't really seen that too much from this year. I think he's had a little bit of bad luck. I mean, he is one that he gets pummeled. He is not afraid to drive to the net. I think he's got to draw some penalties. We gotta get our power play rolling. I think Tahoka is the key tomorrow night. We have to get him in.
Nice. I like that pick.
For
me, guys, honestly, I don't know what you guys all think offensively, but defensively, that's where I'm going to lead to, is because if you're going to win these games and keep opponents under 10 goals, it's got to be our goaltender, Matt Vince, because he's going to be your key too. Once he's locked up and dialed up, there's nothing getting by that man, and you have to give him the opportunities to see those shots and not create the one-timers or the 2-on-0 side shots. They're going to have to really lock it down. But again, Joe Rezateritz, shut him up. Mitch Jones, shut him up. Blaze Reardon, shut him up. There's a lot of potential defensive breakdowns, but they have to stand their man. End of story.
Definitely. Definitely an underrated one, too, is Max Adler. You talked about Trevor Baptiste in the faceoff circle. I think Max Adler has to be on his A game as well. More faceoff wins equals more possessions equals more goals. That's just the way that it goes. And
Exactly.
if we can dominate time of possession, we're going to win this game, because I think we honestly, with or without Josh Byrne, we have more weapons than the Philadelphia Wings have had it in a long, long time, including this year. So we obviously have the better goalie. I think we have the much better defense. It's just the fact that we're missing a lot of key offensive forwards and transition players. I mean, maybe a guy like Ian McKay can cash in maybe a Hattie or 4 goals
another one.
night. Oh, you never know that we can see something like that, but it's going to be cool. I mean, dude, Wing Night, I have no idea what is going to happen in the arena that night, but I'm actually very, very excited for it, because I don't think the Bandits have ever done this promotion before. So it's kind of funny that it's, taking place when it's against the Philadelphia Wings.
It's so true. We don't even know. It could be story written. It could be whatever. Or again, I just don't know. It's actually kind of funny that we're playing the Wings on Wing Night. So is this like a message to them saying, "Well, we're going to beat the crap out of you in Banditland," or is this something for you to step
No,
up
it's
and
we're gonna dip
thoughts?
you in blue cheese and that's it. We're gonna end you pretty much.
All right. Before we do go, guys, let me first ask one more thing, because we always had what's your score predictions time? We usually do this for pre-gaming. So we're going to start off with you, Jackson. What do you think the score is going to be, and who's going to win?
I think the Bats will win 15-9.
15-9. I love that. That's great.
Nice.
That's great.
Joe, how about you, buddy?
I think it's going to be a little tighter, as much as I don't want it to be. I like your pick, Tony, with Vino. I mean, if he's locked in, I think it's going to be tighter. I think we're looking at, like, I'm going to say 14 to 12 Bandits.
14-12.
Trevor?
Nice.
How about you, sir?
I'm going to say that we find the back end of that a bunch, and we win this game 16-11.
Going brutal style. And of course, I'm going to have to say, like Joe said, this could be a trap game. This could be something that we might expect to see a little bit more oomph in the Philadelphia side, especially with picking up Mitch Jones. But again, I got to go with the boys in orange and black. Bandits win 15-10.
15-10, and we got a special visitor for everyone that's watching on the YouTube right now.
No.
We got the zebra. Yeah, we got to keep them in
coming.
check. We got to keep them in check tomorrow. They better not suck. Well, we all know that they are going to. So
yeah,
be prepared to get. The reason why I said Philly gets 11 is because they'll score 3 power play goals and maybe 8 even strength goals, because they're the only team that gets the power play. We never do.
Stay out of the box. Stay out of the box.
Yeah.
Stay out of the box.
Well, we can only say it so many times, but the refs will call us on some stupid crap every week.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
I hate to say
Loud
it.
noises.
They have it out for 23 this year. I mean,
Oh God!
Yeah.
he's got a target on his back, and I think all these guys are starting to kind of notice that. So I mean, I'm okay with him standing up for his players, but sometimes you just gotta, be quiet, let the game play, I guess. But,
I mean, part of it is it the refs, or is it Steve Priolo not shutting up, or is it the refs that can't grow a set and take it?
I think it's that. I mean, I think the last game, I think it was he probably just chirped something, and it just the refs just they can't take it. They get under their skin too easily.
They're on a short leash with the Bandits, I guess. I don't know what it is.
Unfortunately, it does seem that way. But I've kind of chimed in on some other games this year, on the West Coast, kind of watching other games on ESPN Plus, and they are calling the game kind of the same everywhere, and it's just. If you want to grow the game, I think you really need to kind of step up your officiating. I just think that's one thing that's always kind of been suspect in the league, essentially.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be better. Like, I don't even know. We get the same goof every single week, it seems like, and he never gives the Bandits anything. So I guess we got to face against 2 teams every single night, and hope that we can come off with 1 win from it.
Absolutely. And well, hopefully this time, you know what I said, you got to, keep your discipline, got to shut your mouth and keep continuing to play the game. But again, I mean, of course, Steve's going to have a target on his back. He's the captain. He's going to say something. I mean, every assistant captain and captain's going to have to speak up for the team and then bring it back to the coach, obviously. But again, keep it professional, stay calm. As much as you hate the fact you want to yell at these guys, but you have to maintain discipline and you got to stay out of the box. That's basically what's going to keep winning you games.
And this week, transitions, take shots. Transitions, you have to take shots. Like, I know that a lot of the times Johnny T likes to have him play back and play defense a lot, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but take the ball up. If you have a lane, shoot the freaking thing. I mean, we don't want to force it into double coverage. We love to get the ball to Dane Smith down low, and he goes through a couple different guys. But everyone's going to be covering Dane Smith. That's probably Philly's game plan. He's probably the guy on their roster that they're circling. So if you have a lane top of the restraining line, maybe just inside the restraining line, take a shot. Zach Higgins is not a very good goalie. I hate to break to anybody, but he's not that good.
Well, hopefully Kyle Buchanan will step up and keep earning his stat on the loose balls, and then with the fact that creating plays and making sure things get on their offensive side. But again, we got depth. That's all we can say. And thankfully, the injury bug has not attacked the key players besides Byrne.
I'd rather have him injured now than injured in the quarterfinals. That's it. That's all I got to say. Yep.
All right.
Well, I have a question for both of you.
Yep.
Sure. Go ahead.
So, Trevor, unsung hero. We're at the halfway point of the season. Who's the unsung hero for the Bandits?
Ooh, unsung hero. That's a really, really, really good one. But I'm going to say I got to go defense, I think, for unsung hero. Nope, you know what? I'm going to go transition. Because if this player doesn't have this breakout game, doesn't have the defensive game in Philly, doesn't have the offensive game in New York, we're probably not at the first place in the East. I'm going to go with Ian McKay as our biggest unsung hero so far this year.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yep.
Tony,
dude's underrated. Criminally underrated.
100%.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Thanks, Trev. For me, basically, the unsung hero right now is either going to be two players, but you can agree to disagree. I'm going to say both, like Jackson's pick with who's going to score first, Dalton Solver or Brad McCauley. Really, those guys have, a key to their game that we've been needing to fill the puzzle up. And again, it's going to have to come down to one of those two to actually say, I'll take it. No, I'll take it. I'll take the shot. No, well, then who's going to score? Well, those two are the only two I think in my book have been the unsung hero.
That's awesome.
I definitely agree with Trevor. I mean, it's Ian McKay. He's been unbelievable. I don't think a lot of people know the name. They kind of just, Dane Smith, Josh Byrne, Tehoka, Cloutier. They know the big names. I wish his name would get out there more because he is a stud. I mean, you see him, he is digging in the corner for loose balls. He's everywhere. Transition. I mean, the dude is fast. He's smart. He's got another zebra sighting here.
Yeah, we got another zebra on the radar.
But I would definitely say Ian McKay.
Yeah.
I think, as good as a season as Daner's having, and Ian has been unbelievable.
You know what? I think Ian McKay, he kind of reminds me of like a 2008 unsung hero who absolutely like a guy like Brett Bucktooth, a guy like Bucktooth, a guy like Paulus, guys who wouldn't have the biggest stat or flashy stats. The fans really wouldn't wear their jerseys a lot, but they definitely played their role, and it's guys like Brett Bucktooth and Delby Paulus that Ian McKay truly reminds me of. As far as unsung heroes go.
Yep, and we'll see how they do. But go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go for it.
Sorry about that.
No, good.
One fond memory I have of Brett Bucktooth. I remember. I'd like to say it was maybe 2009. I'd like to say it was 2009. I'd say it was 2000, or it could have been the championship year. We were down 3 in the final minute. Bucktooth scores 3 goals in the final minute to tie it up, take the game to overtime.
Wow.
3 goals by one player.
Wow.
And this is back in 2008. If you recall, we had probably one of the worst face-off percentages in the league.
Yeah, we weren't good.
We were terrible. I mean, we would intentionally just lose face-offs just to play deep.
Right.
Because we couldn't win face-offs at all. But I remember that memory. That was unbelievable. One player, Brett Bucktooth, scoring 3
Did we
goals.
win in OT at least?
We lost in overtime.
Oh, I'm about to say I may have been at that game. If it was against Boston, I may have been at that game.
I couldn't tell you who it was against, but it was unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, you see all the fans, they're filing out. They're leaving. I'll never leave a game early. And sure enough, Bucktooth puts 3 in the back of that. I mean, everybody back to their seats. Everybody's rowdy. I'd like to say it was within the first minute we lost in overtime.
Yeah.
It was jeez.
Like, why the heck did they put us through that and losing?
Yeah, Bandits since 2009 or before 2019 were really not that good in overtime.
No.
I mean, not really. I remember going to a game against the Blazers where Brendan freaking Tainhouse scored like 6 goals against us, and he scored the OT goal. I think that was like 2009 or 2010, something like that. And then, but I remember watching the game on Bleacher Report Live where Corey Small scored the overtime goal against the Rochester Nighthawks, which was a great game.
That was a great game. I remember that game. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, Scott Self against the Toronto Rock a bunch of years ago in overtime. The unsung hero. Can't forget about that game either.
Number 4, Scott Self.
Such a good game. Wow. The zebras are in full effect in this bottom screen here. That looks awesome.
They're getting real hungry for tomorrow for some wings.
No, they're getting real hungry for some bandits because they're going to be calling everything on us tomorrow, but it doesn't matter because we're still winning the game.
I really think we need to break out the zebras tomorrow night, too. I mean, it's been kind of quiet this year with them.
Yeah, we haven't been really getting them out there, so we have to definitely get them out there.
Oh, they'll be out. They'll be out for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, can we say we can conclude this there, Trevor?
I think so. I think we got to get everybody in the shot here to say the last sentence. But
before we do leave, guys, we just want to say thank you again for tuning in on YouTube for Banditland Boulevard. Also, don't forget to check us out on Spotify.fm and also to our first new sponsor, Mitchell's Tavern. Guys, go check out the place. Go enjoy great service and amazing food. You won't regret it.
And also tell them that Banditland Boulevard sent you there.
And
Boys
that's
at Banditland
right.
Boulevard.
That's right. Make sure you guys do. But as always, we have one final sentence before we end this show. Guys, help us out. You ready?
Ready?
Let's
go
Bandits. Let's go Bandits.
Let's go.
Let's freaking go.
Where are we going?